welcome back to my channel. My name's Rebecca, I'm 28 and I live in Newcastle, and you are reporting for beauty duty. So here we are. As you can see by the title of the video, my friends chose my makeup, yay! So as you can see, they did not do me dirty, so thank you very much for that, ladies, because they could have taken the piss and made me look ridiculous, but I'm actually pretty happy with how this look turned out. So if you want to see what I used, interested in this eye look, it was kind of tutorial-ish, but not really. Do keep on watching. Okay, so here we are, brows on, eyes primed, and we are preparing for a cut crease. Yes, so my friends have picked my makeup. I was waiting for Elena to reply to see if I think she's literally just responded. So I'm going with cut crease. I gave her the choice of halo eye or cut crease, so I've gone for cut crease. And the palette chosen by Tia is the Zodiac palette by BH Cosmetics. I won't really reveal everything chosen straight away, but I'm just going to crack into it really. As always, very little thought has gone into the eye look that I'm going to do. We are winging it, literally and figuratively. So I'm just gonna crack on in there, to be honest with you. I've only used this palette once, so there we go. And I'm actually going in with the darkest brown first. It doesn't have a name to it, and yeah. So let's just go for it. So if I remember rightly, I think I actually liked this palette. Certainly pigmented. Sorry, my mirror's down there as usual. And we are just, in the words of Teresa, smooshing it on the eye. This is quite a purpley toned brown. It's quite a cool toned palette. It is a cool toned palette pretty much. It's got one sort of brick orange, but even then it almost comes across quite cool toned looking for an orange. So yeah. I'm keeping this not neutral exactly, but not too crazy, because you'll see from the lip colour that was chosen that yeah, we need to not go too ham. Okay. I'll admit, I'm loving my brows at the moment. I will do a brow tutorial eventually. I'm just still kind of figuring out with a few different new products. So I want to make sure that I have it down. I do my brows in a couple of different ways. So I don't know if that's what you would want to see, like maybe the few ways that I do my brows rather than just one way. I do them depending on how lazy I'm feeling, how much time I have, etc, etc. So I'm just gonna blend this out with a Spectrum B06. So actually really good quality shadows. I think that these palettes, because they were so awkward shaped and quite a lot of dead space, didn't get a lot of hype, but I actually have not ever been disappointed by anything from BH that I've tried. So yeah, I think that they are, I know they're getting a little bit more, not necessarily hype, but a little bit more attention recently. And just adding a bit more pigment to this eye, because I can already tell that this eye's blending out more pigmented. They're getting a bit more attention recently, and I think that it is potentially really well deserved. I think that they've been had good quality shadows for a long time, but they often had things like this. This is a lot of wasted space in this palette. Like, I have to be honest, I don't really like the layout of it. I think it could have been laid out quite differently. But yeah, it is cute, and I own quite a few palettes with bulky packaging, so I'm not gonna judge it too harshly from that. So there we go. So that blended out quite nicely, actually. Yeah, it's actually super pigmented. I actually thought that this wouldn't blend out as much as it did. So I'm not actually too disappointed with that. So as I said, I'm going to go quite neutral with this, and then I'm going to take a more mid-tone brown, which is that one here, and I will sort of overlap them. Quite a lot of kick up in these pans, actually a shit ton of kick up in these pans if I'm honest. Doesn't generally bother me, but it is quite a lot actually. So I'll just whack that on. It's also pretty pigmented. So yeah, I'm just throwing this on the eye, to be honest. I don't want this to take too long because I'm gonna do full face pretty much. Well, yeah, I'm doing full face. Oh, there's like gaps in my brows anyway. And I'm gonna take the lightest sort of nudie brown, which is that one there, and just use that to blend out the shade that I've just used on. And I'm going to take a really fluffy brush to do that. I think the thing is with neutrals, you really can be just a little bit more slapdash and then like just blend it well. Not that I'm really blending well. So just going back in with the first of the darkest browns and just deepening up again. Taking that down into the outer corner a bit. And then going back into that more mid-toned brown and just literally flopping that around in the lid. I'm lazy, so I don't like to have to spend a long time on blending, because especially with neutrals, because if I'm using a neutral, I generally just want to be able to whack it on and hope for the best. So yeah. And then going back into the beige and a floof. And then I'm actually going to take my little brush that I used to do the dark brown with, and I'm going to tap really gently into the black. Well, actually that was not so gentle. Let's tap that off. Yeah, wow, that's she pigmented. Wow, that's a pigmented black. Holy moly. I'm actually pretty impressed. I love to I know you want to be impressed, but I love to be impressed by palettes that I don't necessarily expect to be impressed by, if that makes sense. I love to be like, okay, you did that. You know, I like to be like, oh, I see you. Rather than A for effort, you had a go. I like to be like, A for effort and for pigmentation. Gee, that's like, okay, that's a good black then. Interesting. So essentially we're doing a smoky eye, and that's fine. So I'm just wiping this brush off, and I'm not adding any more pigment to the eye. And I'm just gonna blend the black out a bit. That is a good black, actually. Don't have any issues with it. As always, I am going to do some form of crease cuttage, so I'm not worrying too much about what is going on the lid space. And kept all the black focused into the outer corners, just to make that little bit more sort of dramatic. I can't believe how easily, I'm just going to take a closer look at this. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe how easily this has worked. We are 12 minutes in. I've used expensive palettes that have taken me longer to blend out than this bad boy. So for that one, I think that's enough for now with the mattes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop off pop a half cut crease in, and I'll come back and show you what pigment was chosen for me by Kelly. So I shall see you shortly. Okay, we are back with a half cut crease on. So I am going to use one of the shimmers from the palette just as a base before I go in with the pigment. So the pigment that I'm using is a K Rose B in Dystopia. So it's sort of a greeny duochrome. So I'm going to lay down Capricorn first, which is this shade here. There's some really beautiful shimmers in this palette, like really nice. So yeah, I'm just gonna wet my brush first. This is like a baked formula, so just gonna wet that. Let's plonk it. Ooh, hello. Plonk that on the eye. I'm gonna grab a palette with a small mirror so I can see what I'm doing a bit better. Now that we are doing some precision work. That is nice. Very like, it doesn't have any like shimmer to it, but it is quite wet looking and certainly has a good amount of pigmentation to it. So it would be nice on its own as well, but that is not on the cards for today. Kelly has chosen the pigment for me because she is the pigment queen as well. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop on a little bit of glitter glue first as well. So because it's clear, you can still see the base of the eyeshadow underneath. And then I'll go in with the pigment on top. I just think it really helps the pigments really just stick on 1,000 times better. And then we are going in with K Rose B in Dystopia or Dystopian, which is what it looks like there. So I'm actually, yeah, I'm just gonna tap straight in there. Don't really trust myself to tap any out in the lid. My hands are quite shaky at the moment, so yeah. Oh, so pretty. And just keep on going. Tapper. And I think tapping really is what makes the most out of a pigmented shade as well. This has a duochrome to it, but I'm not sure how well you'll see it on camera. And that's why I've done the glitter glue as well, because you really can just tap it over the top and it comes out really true to its colour as well. This really is just so beautiful. These are very fall colours actually, autumn, fall colours, which is quite nice actually. Okay, make sure we are max pigment coverage. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that's looking. So I'm just going to tap into the black again, just to make sure that we've got a nice blend between the two shades, because as I said, I don't like a harsh line at all. Okay, I'm actually really liking how that looks. Like, I think it's really nice, like sort of autumny colours and just really simple, sort of smoky eye. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm just looking for a slightly finer brush. Here we go. So this is a Jessup detailed shader. I'm just going to wipe that off, make sure I don't have any unwanted colour on that. And I'm just going to grab the black actually right on the tip, just the tip. And I'm going to sort of take that along the lash line a bit. And I'm sort of blending a bit upwards as I go. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave it like this. So I'm really just stamping it on. Not quite as precise as I would have liked it, but everything's a bit of a learning curve for me still. I just sort of go along with it. And as I've said 1,000 times, I'm not a trained makeup artist by any means. I just flop makeup on the eye and hope for the best. I'm just sort of blending this bit. There we go. How's that look? Yeah, I think that's quite nice actually. And I don't need to pop off camera. Let's have some peel porn. These are Primark ones that I've just chopped up. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop off camera and sort out the fallout and sort of correct my brows a bit. So I'll be back in just a second. Right, so I've cleaned that up the best that I sort of could without leaving my chair because I'm lazy. So we had it voted that I would use a glowy primer. So I'm going in with my NYX High Glass. So I'm literally just gonna, and I do like to use quite a bit of this, as you can tell. And I'm gonna take my sponge and I'm just gonna whack this on the face. And oily skin girls, I did not really want that under eye, but hey ho. Do I still have stuff on my nose? Yes, I do anyway. Do not be afraid of this primer. Do not be afraid of a glowy primer. If I was going out and about, I'd use like a normal primer before this. I'm getting a little bit more into using a primer. Like I'll do something mattifying, then this on top. If you set correctly, and if you're on top of your skincare, then you know you should be okay to use something that's a little bit more glowy. Even I can find a foundation feels way too matte, so it is nice to like glow it up a bit. So as chosen by Tia, I'm using my L'Oreal Fresh Wear today, and I use this in 140 Golden Beige. So this, I do love it, but little caveat to that, it doesn't always work for me, and I don't know why. Actually, I'm just going to pop a little bit of my Bare Minerals concealer on my dodgy bits. That sounded so wrong. On my some pigmentation and scarring, just so I don't have to go in with quite a lot of foundation to cover that. Anyway, and I don't blend that in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bounce this on. See, today I think I'm going to like it. But every time I use it, I don't. I've got a few foundations like that, but I think it might depend on my hormones, so I don't really know. And the coverage on this is really nice, and it's really not cakey at all. There we go, nice. I just realised I forgot to take out my drawer. But the contour that was chosen by Lucy, I'm pretty sure it was Lucy, is the Huda Tantour, and I have this in medium. Even the medium is super dark, actually dark, but yeah, we'll work it out. I did not pull out a contour brush, so I'm just taking my Zoeva 110 face shape, and it is quite warm, I think, because it's a Tantour, so it's like a sort of cream bronzer and contour. So this is gonna, it's probably good if I'm wearing a a really pale foundation that's super pale for me. What have I done on my nose? Yeah, so that's probably a bit better. And I'm actually going to take a dry sponge for this, because I find if it's the sponge is too wet, it can lift the foundation when it comes to using a contour. And then, as requested by Lucy, again, I'm going to use a e.l.f. concealer this is in Fair. I really like this concealer. Again, my friend Lucy bought it for herself, and then she's very, very fair, and it wasn't light enough for under eye, and it wasn't dark enough, as you can imagine, for contour. So yeah, but I'm not even sure which formula this is, because it literally just has the name on it. It's in like a squared off, but whatever this is, e.l.f., I'll work it out and link it down below. It is extremely like flattering under my eyes, and it's not the most full coverage ever, but actually I would rather have my under eyes look fresh than have them looking super crepey and super dry. So there we go. And again, requested by the lovely Lucy, is my Coty Airspun. So this is a little bit, the packaging on this is a 0 out of 10, but the way that it works on me is a 10 out of 10. So this is a Coty Airspun extra cover. So I'm taking a really small amount on my damp sponge, and I'm just setting under eye with it. So really not using a huge amount, because I find that that is much more flattering, like just enough to set under my eye, really. But yeah, I have been liking taking a sponge under my eye, definitely. I'm just going to take my Real Techniques brush that's whose name is rubbed off, and just do the rest of my face. So I used to like literally smother myself in powder, but I'm really trying not to. And actually I'm finding if I prep my skin well enough, that my foundation stays just as long. And actually, if it's a nice foundation for my skin, if it gets oily, it'll get oily and just look nice and dewy, as opposed to getting oily. I'm just checking how set it is. It's supposed to getting oily and breaking down, because it's two very different things. I didn't ask people to choose a powder contour because I'm limited to what I have, so I'm just going to use my normal Revolution one. Put the contour brush down, and again take a little bit of my Airspun. I'm just gonna doop doop under here, and just a tiny bit around the eye, sort of blend it so it doesn't look too harsh. Oh, I wish I tied my hair up. Okay, and then I'm just going to knock that bake off with my brush. There we go. So we're looking pretty chiseled. There we go, love it. And I'm going to bronze. Again, I'm limited bronzer choice, so it doesn't even have a lid anymore. It's just nearly every Revolution bronzer that's got this kind of packaging that I've had, and I love them, it breaks. So it's in its own little drawer. So this is Mega Bronzer in 02 Warm. So I'm just gonna do love this bronzer. It's very matte. And I do like, to be fair, like a bronzer with a bit of shimmer. I do like a matte bronzer. I am not fussy. And for my blush, I'm going to take my Lunar Beauty palette. I can see that my phone is about to die. So I'm actually just going to grab a charger and I'll be right back. Okay, we are charging. Sorry about that. Going in my Lunar Beauty blush palette. Still love this. Absolutely love it. And I'm going to tap between Spacey and Gravity. Tap, 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 tap. Which is the two cool toned ones. And why is the end of my nose so brown? I'm really, really regretting putting the tan taunt at the end of my nose, because actually, yeah, that's significantly better. I swear I do not look like a clown in person. I'm gonna pop that back down. Then for highlight, so it took 3 goes for me to have something that I could find. So I had previous suggestions of Bare Minerals and Joy, which actually wouldn't have gone with this eye look anyway, and a Revlon one, but I could not find them in my mess. So I'm using a Laura Mercier, she's well loved, in Indiscretion. And actually I haven't used this for quite a long time, so I'm just checking that I'm not too powdery. I'm just gonna spray my face down. I hate the smell of this. Ugh. Oh no. It's the Sweet Peach or whatever by Morphe, but I've got it and I want to use it up, but I really hate it. So I'm just gonna, this is a nice highlighter. Like, I know it's high end, I know it's not cheap, but it's a really nice highlighter. I've actually done a really good mix of like high end and not high end here. We are glowy today. When am I not glowy, to be fair? I'm just going to take a little sort of fluffy angled brush and tap into this and raise my eyebrow a little and highlight my brow bone. That's nice. Nice highlighter. Again, shade is Indiscretion, and I'm pretty sure they still sell these. If I've used something that's discontinued, my bad. I'm sort of, yeah, I've had it for quite a long time, so I don't really know what the score is with that. And I'm going to pop a colour down on the inner corner. So I'm going to go back into my Zodiac palette and just looking at the colours here. And I'm going to choose Pisces, which is this colour just there. And I'm going to take a sort of pointy brush. I will just quickly use the mirror in this, tap it off. Realise I need to do my under eye as well. Almost forgot about that. Actually, that's a little darker than I wanted. So I'm going to tap into Taurus. I'm a Taurus. I was born on the 28th of April. That's better. There we go. So I might have to re-intensify that after I've gone in under eye. That was a mistake. I'm going to use my the eyeliner, water eyeliner that was chosen, which was a brown shade. So I'm going to go in with the Morphe in Riche first. This was chosen by my friend Katrina. Let's whack something else on the under eye, shall we? Go in with this one with the black. Literally barely touched. Barely touched my under eye. Wow, that ended up not how I wanted it, but here we are. And take this brush to blend it. So we have a very dramatic under eye going on. I'm actually not going to add another colour to that, like another brown, because we're looking a bit much. And I'm going to knock into the sort of beigey shade I used and try and, yeah, that's making it significantly better. That went from 0 to 100 very fast. Doing the sexy under eye face. There we go. Fixed it. Fixed it. If I hadn't, there would have been nothing I could have done. But if I just had to style it out like I intended to do that. So I'm going to pop off and whack my lashes on because I'm not going to do like any liquid liner or anything like that because I've got my smudgy sort of line on top. And we'll come back and you can see what lip was chosen for me, which is going to be quite interesting. Actually, they chose my lashes. So I have TJH in the style Bondi, one of my favorite styles ever. I really love these lashes. So I'm going to pop off, whack these on, and I will be right back. So I'm back. Not the greatest lash application ever, but let's not talk about it. So the lip colour chosen for me is our so I asked, I've got a group chat with some of my friends, and I think nearly all of us own the Fenty Red in Uncensored, so we call it our team colour. So of course they chose this, and this is what I'm going for. That's why I kept my eyes like neutral-ish with a pop of green. So yeah, let's just go for it. This is the best red lipstick ever. Really long wearing, universally flattering, makes your teeth look white. So there we have it. What do you think? Turned out quite well. Let me come a little bit closer. What are our thoughts? I'm quite happy with the look. My friends did not do me dirty. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for your help. Thank you to Lucy, Kelly, Elena, Katrina, and Tia. Tia and Elena both have their own YouTube channels, so I'll leave those linked down below. But yes, I'm really happy with this. Would you like to see other friends choose my makeup? Would you like to see fiance chooses my makeup? Yeah, that could be quite fun. So let me know what you think. I could do subscribers choose my makeup. I potentially would need to do that over on my Instagram or something like that. But yeah, it's been super fun. And I was at a loss a little bit as what to film, but I really fancied to film. So yeah, this was really fun for me. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me today. Don't forget to go follow me over on Instagram. If there's any looks that you see over there that I have not filmed and you'd like to see me film it, do leave me a comment and let me know, and I'll try and sort that out for you. I'll leave my name up as usual. If you're new here, do subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed it. That would be absolutely fantastic. I would love to get to 400 subscribers by Christmas. It'd be the best Christmas present for me ever. Do ring that notification bell so you know of when I upload, because I was meant to have a schedule and I've not stuck to it. So I sort of just film when I can and upload when I can and sort of not put too much pressure on it. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.